I'm delighted to be part of this movie. And again, I'm delighted to be on Newsmax. Once again, thank you for shining a light on the truth so we can actually hear it.
Thank you very much, John. Now, what made you want to do this film?
I think that the entire Roe v. Wade issue has been intentionally told incorrectly for decades. And that's one of the things that we get into in this film that I'm so proud of. Believe it or not, this film is about abortion. It's about Roe v. Wade, but it's also about the manipulation of science, the manipulation of a public's perspective of a danger due to science, and then the judicial system and political systems using that misrepresentation of science for their political agenda. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yeah, we certainly have seen a lot of that recently. Now,
we
John,
certainly have, yes, so I'm delighted.
John, did your faith play a role in you taking this part?
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things that that Byron Byron White was tremendous, and by the way, succeeded by Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Imagine the irony there.
Right.
So Byron was not someone to browbeat, as you saw in that scene there. He's basically begging Berger to understand. And then there's another scene in the movie with myself and Steve Gutenberg, where we're talking about my belief. There's Byron White right there. Wizard was his nickname. My belief that life started at conception. And John Schneider believes that. So this, I think, is a very important movie to shed light on a lot of things. And in a very odd way, I wound up knowing, pardon me, that's some glitch. I wound up knowing Jane Roe.
Wow. Throughout the course of this. All
Which,
right.
by the way, Norma McCorvey is her name. Jane Roe did not exist. Jane Roe was a fabrication of the legal system, the lawyers, and the media to make the notion more palatable. And folks, you've got to see this movie. They go into these two gentlemen that made millions of dollars on the lives of these children. They brag about how they make up facts. They make up figures. They talk about these back alley abortions as if it were true. And they're just making it up to service the phony science. And there's a wonderful term, the fake news.
Yeah, information management we see all the time, John.
Exactly. So it's not a new problem.
Right.
But we have got to recognize it for what it is. And I think historically, when you watch Roe v. Wade, you will see that we are still living under a misconception that was very carefully and selfishly planned. It was no accident.
John, I guess Byron White never, had to, jump over a creek in a car or anything like that. But take us inside how you prepared for this role and his critical part in this case.
Well, John Voight was one of the first people I met when I went out to California. So I've been a friend. John and I have been friends for years. So I read about Byron. I read about his physicality. He's a basketball player. There he is. Was a very honest man who spoke his mind. So I read about that. I also read transcripts. Something very interesting about this film is that we're told that every word of dialogue in the movie that the justices say is actually documented. So these are conversations they had. These are thoughts that they had and expressed to one another. These are not just lines of dialogue fabricated by a screenwriter. So for that, I was very, very grateful. So in many regards, we're actually depicting in a documentary cinematic fashion exactly what was happening during the most widely misunderstood legal battle in the history of the United States.
Now, Roe v. Wade is available now. How can people see the film and support it?
Well, you can stream it. I'm hoping that we're going to be bringing it around, but you can stream it. Just look up Roe v. Wade movie, and you'll have the opportunity to watch it right now. We live in a great world. You can watch it right now. And if you want to watch an independent film and just have a little fun, look for Stand on It. That's a movie that I made. But Roe v. Wade, watch with your family. You will get an education about science, politics, and the media, the likes of which you never imagined.